This video is called Japan is falling for anti-black propaganda by Jew Almighty. I came across this. I didn't watch it yet. I kind of saved it to watch it on stream so we could like talk about it together and shit. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. Let's get into it.
Apparently, some Japanese people see black people like we're overpowered, unstoppable, highly violent, super dangerous Viltrumites.
In Japan, we think they're scary.
And that became painfully obvious when Twitter rolled out an auto-translate feature, letting everyone see tweets from all over the world in their native language. Almost instantly, a tweet went viral that Japanese people are afraid of black people.
Like, you'll just walk up to someone, they'll literally be retreating. Like, you'll be walking up, talking to them respectfully.
Well, yeah, I mean, because the rest of the world, entertainment-wise, paints us as a very aggressive ethnicity. So, and Japanese people are very, very reserved, very shy, very respectful. So I can see where the conflict of interest would come in, you know.
And they'll literally be retreating like you're about to body slam them or just like choke slam them or something.
Like we're some kind of threat to their existence just because we're naturally bigger than them. Of course, black people just minding our business were definitely caught off guard.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
And it sparked a lot of discourse about global anti-blackness stereotypes and propaganda.
Japanese people are not oblivious to the projection of racial stereotypes in media. In the 20th century, film had representations of the black other where Japanese people identified with the white protagonists of Western adventure films.
And black people from around the world united to respond to that tweet in the funniest way possible.
But to be fair, from everything I've seen online, from all the media, it seems like Japanese people feel that way about everybody. You know, I don't want to be that guy to say it, but I mean, I gotta be that guy to say it. The honest truth is, it seems like Japanese people are very cautious of all outsiders, not just black people, because they have a nickname for anybody who's not Japanese.
Which is why I love us. But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. This is the tweet that kicked all of this off. The number of encounters with black people.
The number of encounters with black people in my neighborhood is steadily increasing. Their skeletal structure and the way their muscles are built are on a completely different level from Japanese people. I'm slim, so if I got pinned down, it'd be over in seconds. I never imagined that violence from a foreigner would climb the ranks in my predictions for my own cause of death. I couldn't have pictured that even a few years ago. Things change when you least expect them to, huh? This guy's like fucking terrified of black people. What?
In my neighborhood is steadily increasing. Their skeletal structure and the way their muscles are built are on a completely different level from Japanese people. I'm slim, so if I tweet from a Japanese, it's like we're an infantry of Big Dick Randy disciples. What are you talking about? Nigga describing us like we're Viltrumites. And this one actually stuck, especially with what's going on in Invincible right now.
Yeah.
Group of white men nukes Japan, killing 100,000. We love white men. Gets into a fight with a black tourist. All black people are scary. That's pretty much accurate. And really my beef with people that have problems with black people globally. We didn't invade any countries. We didn't colonize anybody. We haven't bombed anybody. We be minding our black.
Well, we could test that theory right now. In the second row, we have a malnourished kid. I don't see any homeless people, any malnourished people, anything. I don't see any homeless people, any hungry people. I don't see anything like that. Once again, in the second row, you got a malnourished kid right here. I didn't even have to scroll down. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just the way people think about each other. Everybody's going to grow up in a social society where some type of stigma will be placed on another race of people because of the people you interact with. I don't even think it's on purpose, man. Like I said, I think they just watch media. They watch rap videos. They see us with guns and shit. You know, that's not all black people, of course, but you know, from what they digest, it scares them.
Business. And on top of that, historically in America, we have been victimized by white society and the federal government for over 400 years.
We are the problem. We have been the problem since day one. Beating black people, lynching black people, segregation, Jim Crow, the genocide of Native Americans, the Trail of Tears, Asians in internment camps, because how dare an Asian come to America? We have to put him in camps because we have to make sure America stays white. Stealing the land from Mexico, stealing the land from the Native Americans, stealing black people on the Middle Passage. Most of you people don't even know what the hell it is or how many people died.
Japanese people are more scared of black people than the people that nuked them twice. But
I
due
mean,
to propaganda from a racist government and discriminatory...
But once again, I gotta be that guy. Damn near every ethnicity of people has enslaved, belittled, beaten, or done some type of violence to another race of people. Now, I think it seems much worse with white people because it was documented, whereas some cultures, with it being so far back, the documentation wasn't as good as of what happened to the slaves. But I mean, there is text that says that Egyptians were whipping the Jews and whipping the slaves they had, the Israelites and shit like that. Well, they had slaves from everywhere, but they were whipping them and they were barely feeding them. So you gotta be fair. The Japanese people had slaves. They were enslaving Chinese people. Chinese people had slaves. They were enslaving Indians. So it's, you know, you got to look at everything from all sides. But the question still remains: why does racism and discrimination stick so hard with black people? Every race has been enslaved at some point, right? But why, when it comes to black people, it sticks so hard even till current day, right? Because and even with Asian people are very much discriminated on against from white people. White people are discriminated on against from other people. A lot of people don't like white people. So it's like, you know, it's just an interesting conversation on all fronts.
Media that has pushed the narrative of black people being violent, dangerous criminals. The whole entire world has issues with us or is afraid of us instead of the people they've been in multiple wars with. And it's important to understand, I guess, the history or the context in which Japanese people see black people or how they learned or were introduced to black people. A lot of them was media, was TV. So when you take...
Didn't I just say that? I just said it was media. When you play a rap video and you see black people waving guns, the first thought in your head when you see a black person is violent, dangerous, angry, carrying a gun. It's simple math, bro.
Take that mixed with the Asian communities wanting to have a closer proximity to whiteness. I guess you kind of get the vibe.
Japanese people are not oblivious to the projection of racial stereotypes in media. In the 20th century, film had representations of the Black Other where Japanese people identified with the white protagonists of Western adventure films. In 1949 and 1950, Gone with the Wind ranked second and third on Japan's bestsellers list. Japanese theatrical renditions of Gone with the Wind showcased blackface performances. It can be argued that blackface in Japan is seen as an homage or appreciation for black people. However, a lot of it is racial violence that mimics American and European blackface. Then came the influence of television. This became a new medium for American-produced media to continue and perpetuate the myth of white America and black people appearing in a limited and stereotypical capacity. In a 1991 study, 2,219 foreigners appeared on Japan's 5 major networks. 84.9% of these foreigners were white. Black people accounted for 4.5%. These commercials emphasize...
Again, if you do the math, aren't there less black people in Japan than white people? So white people would make a larger number in that statistic. So like statistics can be skewed by perception. The perception of what she's telling you is that more white people appear in Japanese media than black people, but then black people in Japan make up a lower number. You know what I'm saying? So is it racism, or is it just that there's not as many black people in Japan as whites and Japanese, right?
It's a very positive representation of white people, while black people were reduced to hypersexuality and stereotypes. Now, in modern Japan, black faces are seen on TV as musicians, entertainers, rappers, athletes, etc.
From that point on, it was all Viltrumite and JJK jokes from black people. How Japanese see us. First off, this picture is hard as fuck.
Yeah, that is a clean picture. I ain't gonna cap.
But facts, that's basically how they
That
described
shit
us. Like,
clean.
we are Viltrumites just by existing. Which makes me wonder, what is the average size of a Japanese man? The average height of a Japanese man is approximately 5'7". The average weight of 17-year-old boys is approximately 137 pounds. In the United States, the average black male is approximately 5'9" and between 198 to 201 pounds. So yeah, naturally, we're larger people than the Japanese, but it's not that much of a difference for them to see us as some dangerous monstrosities walking toward them. Black people, according to this Japanese person, these joints are endless, but it is so accurate. The way their muscles are built are on a completely different level. Japanese people seeing a black person walking down the street. Check this out. This Japanese woman in Japan, there's barely any black people there. Where do you think she learned how to talk like this? Racist narratives about black people have always been populated and they've always preceded us. I remember this clip from black veterans talking about going to Vietnam, I think it was, and being called the N-word. And they're like, how would they even know the N-word?
They come over here, they get, all right, a Vietnamese girl. She called me a nigga. A nigga, Vietnamese girl. I know
I've
it's
seen
not
this clip
part of their
before.
language. Can't nobody tell me that's part of their language, but I'm gonna go over here. The beast, you know that.
They don't like us. They say we start trouble. Now who done put this stuff in their
The
mind?
JJK references all been on point too. What a Japanese person think a black person would do to them if they slightly offend them? Sukuna taking off heads in Shibuya. It's too high. What Japanese people think when they see a black person?
In Japan, we think they're scary, but they're fancy. From my perspective, I think they're fancy, but are kind of a little bit scary. Okay, the reason. When I was a child, when I was in elementary school, junior high school, there are no black people in Shibuya or in Roppongi. If you go out at night, there's so many black people there. But you know, like when I was a kid, like I don't go out. But like if you go to Takeshita Dori in Harajuku, there are some black people trying to sell watch, like hand watch, and they're kind of like trying to sell the watch like aggressively.
Yeah, but again, when all street people on the street, go to New York City. There's white people, there's Latino people, there's black people, there's Asian people. They got a whole fucking Chinatown up there. Everybody's trying to sell you stuff aggressively. That's how you sell stuff. When you walk through any mall in any state in America, and people are trying to get you to buy the shoe cleaners or whatever bullshit product they got at their vendor little stand, they're trying to sell you shit aggressively. Nobody's like, hey, can you please buy my shoe cleaner? No, they like, hey, what you doing? Where you going? You don't need to go to that store. Come over here and talk to me. Like, here, test this out. Hey, stop. Let me put this on your shoe. That's how you sell, right? That's how you interact with people to get their attention. You got to be upfront, forward, front facing in their face.
And that was only my impression for black people when I was a child. So maybe that's why. Pretty sure they're also kind, but their way to sell something was kind of aggressive. So that's why I felt scary. I never got to talk with them until I turned.
Precisely. That is the base point of all discrimination on the planet Earth. I never got to talk with them. I had a preconceived notion. I had information based on fictional media. I never sat down and talked to anybody, right? So this is the problem with the world. Democrats versus Republicans, conservatives versus whatever, communists versus free states, all this different shit, right? You don't get to see the other person's perspective until you talk with them. This is why the war over out east is still going on. You got one religion who thinks the other religion is just dog shit. And instead of sitting down and talking and saying, hey, I understand your religion, you understand my religion. We don't have to agree. But look, if you live over there, we live over here, we cool. And then at some point we can eventually come together and we can celebrate together. We don't believe in the same God, but maybe we have the same type of guideline of morals. So we really the same shit. If people just sit down and, boom, 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 But she just said it. She just clarified it herself.
20 in my life. And then actually when I went to Tanzania for the first time when I was in university, I was so scared. There are no Asians. And even I didn't see any like white people there. There are only black people. And I was like, oh, this is so scary. I don't know. I just felt so scary. And then people at the airport had a gun. And I never seen a gun in my life. So I was like, oh, this is so scary. But after that volunteering, I realized, oh, they're actually really kind. And it's so nice to talk with them. But after that, I was studying abroad in Taiwan. I made a lot of friends, but black people friends there, like from Canada or from America. Also studying abroad in Taiwan, and actually I've dated with a black person for 3 months.
I was dying laughing when
See?
she whispered that. Isn't that
Like
bad?
once she found out what it was like really like, she's like, oh, I ain't falling for the hype. Let me try this out. So she didn't got dick down by the BBC. You know what I'm saying?
But at least she's honest with her perspective of why she was initially afraid of black people until she met them and started talking to them and interacting. How black people are viewed in Japan. And that was not the only tweet. There were a bunch of tweets like this that came from Japanese Twitter. I get it. Even in my neighborhood or on the train, there are definitely more black people around. And above all, their bills are just different. The moment I see them, I think no matter how you look,
Even if the woman, even if their height is about the same, I have this thickness that's heavyweight from another world. When I think that if they punch me, one hit might kill me, it fills me with this unbearable fear. So basically, when they see us, it's like fucking Godzilla.
with one punch. Right, because we be normal people. They are probably talking about the most normal, regular sized black people ever. And again, the responses to these tweets just had me dying. How African
All right, well, there's a video. I ain't gonna watch the whole thing. I'm gonna get back to playing some games, but yeah, this is a video by Jew Almighty. Japan is falling for anti-black propaganda. I think it shows in a lot of media. It shows in real life. It especially shows in anime. You don't see us in anime. You don't see us in much Japanese media, and that's, you know, even for the media over here, a lot of media. Now these days, we, you know, black producers have to go and produce themselves. They have to find their own budgets, everything. You know, we don't get movies like Black Panther unless we push for it. But yeah, I mean, I think things will change. Like I said, the generation is dying out. You always gonna have a new generation of discriminatory assholes coming in. But you know, you just keep your head held high, ignore that shit. It'll die out eventually because it can't survive. There's going to always be too much love in the world that's going to always overpower hate. And at the end of the day, you can't stop love. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, there's the video. Let's get back to some games. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Don't forget, I'm going to drop him a sub. I already liked the video. So yeah, drop Jew Almighty a sub, like the video, like my video. And yeah,